Catholic Moments, episode number 51.
Blooming, finding joy in the journey and hope in the heaven yet to come. Blooming.
Hello and welcome to Catholic Moments. And now, here's your host and my mom, Lisa Hendy.
Well, thank you, Eric, and welcome everyone to Catholic Moments, the show from CatholicMom.com, where we talk about all things faith, family, and fun from a Catholic perspective. Welcome to another week of Moments. We had last week 2 episodes. I hope you caught our special Saturday sneak peek at the Prince Caspian movie, the Chronicles of Narnia movie. I took Adam and some of his friends to see the movie, and they were so excited about sharing their input on all the wonderful things that they thought about the movie. So that was our last episode, and this week we are happy to share an interview with Catholic musician Nancy Krebs. But before we do that, I have a few feedback items to share with you.
Hi Lisa, this is Zena from the Catholic city of Boston. I just wanted to tell you that you've got a great podcast. I really enjoy listening to it. I can't wait to see you in Atlanta for the Catholic New Media Celebration. It looks like you're going to be speaking on a panel, and I think that's great. So I am looking forward to meeting you in person. Bye.
Well, thank you so much, Zena, for taking time out of your busy day to leave me that feedback. It means so much to me to hear from you guys, and especially from someone as busy as Zena with 2 little boys and a brand new podcast, The Secrets of Battlestar Galactica, over at sqpn.com. And of course, the event that Zena is referencing is our Catholic New Media Celebration being held on Sunday, June 22nd in conjunction with the Diocese of Atlanta's Eucharistic Congress. And that's going to be a really special gathering. She mentioned, and I'm happy to announce that I'm going to be part of the blogging panel that day. And with me are going to be Jeff Miller, Mark Shea, and Amy Wellborn. So that is actually such an exciting opportunity, not only to be part of that panel, but to meet some of my blogging icons that I really read every day, and I'm so looking forward to meeting them in person. And Zena's comment and discussion about the celebration leads me to some other feedback that I got this week from Liz. And I'm just going to read Liz's email. She says, "Hello, Lisa. I've been trying my best to understand what is Catholic New Media. I've heard it on your podcast, I think, and quite a bit on the Rosary Army's podcast. But what is it, and who is this for? What is new media? I get lost in the techie world, although I'm married to an IT person. Thank you for addressing this question. In the love of Christ, Liz." Well, Liz, thank you for asking that question, because we've been tossing that phrase around a lot in the last few months, and I think it's good to just take a pause. For those of you who do know what new media is, I hope that you'll listen to this explanation and the fact that somebody is asking this question to make us all pause and realize that we may need to explain this form of media to our friends and family. And if you have people in your life who, like Liz, might be asking the question, this is a good time to stop and to introduce them to what we're out here doing. So, Liz, new media, when we refer to new media, it means things like blogging, podcasting, online gaming, social media network sites like Facebook, Twitter.com, MySpace, places where on the web, people are not only consuming information, but also being part of a community to interact with that information. So as opposed to a regular website where you might go on and actually just read an article or look at a picture, new media allows you to actually interact with the article or with the picture or with the video by leaving your comments and actually building upon the information possessed to actually create an even better source of information. So successful bloggers and successful podcasters are actually building community around the media that they're representing. And another part of new media, as I see it, is really the fact that it's very portable and the fact that we consume it and we take it in when it's convenient for us. Unlike a TV news show where you might need to sit down at 6 o'clock every night to watch the news, a podcast enables you to take that media, download it in whatever format you'd like, whether that be on your iPod or onto a CD or sitting there at your computer, and actually consume the information and interact with it when it's convenient for you. So we are talking about at the Catholic New Media Celebration and on several of the podcasts and shows that you listen to the use of new media in the field of evangelization. And during our Holy Father's recent visit to the United States, he called on all of us to evangelize, to share the great message of Christ, our hope, with our brothers and sisters, with our friends, and with people that we don't even know. So podcasters like me, bloggers, people doing online gaming, or even those who frequent sites like Facebook and create these small communities are doing their best to use this type of media to share their faith, and to do so in a way that is both in line with the teachings of the church, but also attractive to new generations of Catholics and Christians and non-Christians who may be looking for other ways to broaden their horizons. So there you have it, a pretty simple explanation of Catholic new media from a mom's perspective. I'm sure somebody like Greg Willits from the Rosary Army could give you a much more techie answer to that, but my answer is that the difference between new media and old is the fact that you can get it when you want, and that you can become part of it as well. And now that we've talked about new media, I'm really happy to share an interview that I conducted with Nancy Krebs. Nancy is a longtime Catholic musician, very talented artist, and I am so happy to start off the interview with a little bit of her song, Rejoice and Be Glad, and then to introduce her, Nancy Krebs.
Rejoice and be glad. Come now and worship, come now and sing, come share the bounty of our God and King. This is the day the Lord has made, let us rejoice, let us rejoice. This is the day the Lord has made, let us rejoice and be glad.
My guest on today's Catholic Moments podcast is Catholic musician Nancy Krebs. Hi, Nancy. How are you today?
I'm fine, Lisa.
I'm so happy that we're able to connect. You have so much going on with your music ministry and so many exciting activities that you're involved in right now that it's just a thrill to be able to speak with you in person. We've heard your songs on our podcast in the past, so it's a real joy to have you today.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. And thank you for having this podcast. I think it's really great what you're doing.
Well, thank you. Can you please start off by briefly introducing yourself to our listening audience and letting them know how your music took the trend that it's taken in the last several years?
All right. Well, first of all, I hail from Baltimore, Maryland. I live right outside Baltimore. I have been a professional actor, singer, musician, and teacher since 1975. I was a professional actor for many years, and then I sort of moved in the direction more of teaching, but still acting, until I discovered this music ministry. Actually, it discovered me. You see, when I was in high school, I used to write music for spiritual events like masses and liturgies. I was part of the first phalanx of the folk mass. And in those days, I used to rely upon my own power of inspiration when I got ready to sing a song. So my songs were a little bit like, God is good, oh so good, good God, God is good, very deep. But after many years of doing this, I sort of moved into the secular world and thought I had left my singing in church days long behind me, but I couldn't have been more wrong. In 1994, when I started going back and singing in churches again, there was a long hiatus there, obviously, but in 1994, I started to feel the urges to write again for masses and for mostly contemplative or meditational type moments in the Mass. But this time I turned the process of writing over to God because I realized my limitations as a writer. And the songs have been so much stronger, so much deeper, so much richer since I turned the process of writing over to God, because God is a powerful author.
Right, and your listening ears are on to listen to what he's telling you.
They sure are now. So I think of myself as the pen, not so much as the author. And so ever since 1994, when I started writing, things just really took off. And my husband, who's my angel, he said to me in 1998, 4 years later, he said, why don't you record some of these songs? And so he said, I'll put up the money. just go ahead and do it. I went, whoa, this is incredible. I said, so I didn't have to be asked twice.
Yes, your own patron there. That's great.
That's what I had, my own patron. So I found a good studio, which was close to us, and an incredible engineer, and began that process, which later resulted in my first CD, which is called The Journey.
Mm-hmm.
And then after The Journey came Love Makes Room. After Love Makes Room came Come to the Stable. Then came Simple Gifts. Then came One Heart at a Time. Then came Songs from the Heart, which is my newest album. So that's the what's happened. And, when you create your first album, and this is for any aspiring writer out there who also sings,
Mm-hmm.
once you have that 1,000 CDs in your basement, you have to promote them. You have to find a way to share the music with other people. So I had to start concertizing. So I began offering concerts in various churches and different kinds of venues like that to share the music with other people. And that's how it's basically continued to grow.
And I've checked your website and see, which we should say is nancykrebs.com, KREBS.com, and we'll have links to that. You keep a very active touring and concert schedule with your music ministry in the parishes.
I sure do. I'm very fortunate to be rotating around. I mean, things change. At first I thought, oh, goody, I'm going to just keep offering these concerts and it will spread wider and wider and wider. It isn't that great. But it actually has evolved to the point where 4 or 5 parishes in my immediate area
Mm-hmm.
keep wanting me to come back, all the time, to do masses,
Right.
to provide cantering services for their masses, as well as special music. And so I keep rotating around a lot. That's why you keep seeing the same names, as well as a sprinkling of further away, closer at hand, new churches. I do appearances at different churches, like a musical guest kind of thing. But my job is not to try to take the music director's job. I do not want that.
Right.
All I want is to be an enhancement or something, a different flavor.
A complement to what they normally have on their regular Sundays. Well, speaking of your touring schedule, what I really am excited to have you speak with us about is an upcoming pilgrimage that you're going to be taking to Rome and to Assisi. Please tell us how this came about and what your role in the pilgrimage will be.
This is so exciting. I mean, I almost get stuttery, as you can just tell, talking about it, because I keep thinking this isn't going to happen. This is just too great. It's just too big. But I know in my heart that it is. You see, I have a very close working relationship with the Shrine of St. Anthony, which is a national shrine dedicated to St. Anthony in the Ellicott City area in Maryland, and it's run by the Franciscans. And they have a first-degree relic there, which is pretty exciting. And so I've been their sort of music minister for several years now. And it just came in conversation that Father Noel, who's in charge of it, Father Noel Danielewicz, is in charge. He's like the pastoral director of the shrine, said to me one day, we're thinking about doing one of our annual pilgrimages to Assisi and Rome, and it would be wonderful if you could serve as our music minister. And it just stopped me dead in my tracks. I went, oh, this is a dream come true.
Oh,
I mean, I've always wanted, first of all, to sing, in holy sites and have that opportunity just to go as a pilgrim. But how much more wonderful is it to be able to share music with other pilgrims in these holy sites?
Because music is such a huge inspiration for so many of us in our prayer lives. So I'm sure that their journey will truly be enhanced by what you can offer in terms of leading them in song along the way.
That is my hope. And so we'll be going to many of the great sites of Francis and Clare. The pilgrimage is titled Walking in the Footsteps of Francis and Clare. So we will go to his tomb, for instance, her tomb, where he received his stigmata, various and sundry sites that are dedicated to him, all the way to right outside of Rome. There's a church that has some significance. Forgive me, I don't remember what exactly it is. It's just too big right now. I can't absorb it all. But I also have such a great affinity for St. Vincent Pallotti, who is called the Apostle of Rome. I will be singing at his tomb at a Mass in Rome when I get to Rome. So the Palatines, who are the Society of the Catholic Apostolate, that's the name of the order founded by St. Vincent. I've already gotten in contact with them. We have a long-standing relationship, and they've invited me to sing in Rome as well.
Oh,
so
what a wonderful
I'm just going to
thing.
be like, all over the place.
Now, when is the trip? It's in May, or
It's in the most beautiful time of the year, I understand, October.
oh, okay, so it's
So
in the
we'll
fall.
be starting in Assisi, and then we're going to be going through the Tuscany countryside. And I just like, my husband is going with me. Thank the
Oh,
Lord.
how wonderful!
I couldn't believe he said he wanted to do it. At first, I thought it's just going to be me flying solo here, me trucking my guitar here and there and everywhere, like a troubadour for the Lord. But he said to me the next day after he heard that I was going to do this, he said, I want to go. I went, it could be our 25th wedding anniversary trip. It'll be
wonderful.
great, because we've always wanted to go to Tuscany.
That's so wonderful. Well, one of the things that I'm wondering about is if he might be, I know that a new aspect of your ministry is the video work that you've been doing. And we see your videos popping up in various places on the web. And so I'm wondering if he could be your video cameraman along the way as well and do some footage while you're there.
It's funny you say that. He just bought a brand new little itty-bitty mini camcorder yesterday. And right now
great.
he's sitting in another room learning how to run it so that he can do just that very thing.
Oh, that's incredible. Well, I think that we have something to look forward to there. And I did want to have you talk a little bit about the videos and where people can check those out and not only listen to you, but also see you singing.
Well, this is a new thing, actually. Videos they've been around a long time, but as far as Catholic artists really sort of buying into this whole thing, it's another way for us to share the music. And since people nowadays are very interested in how you go about doing videos and what sort of things can be shared in a video, the ones that I have right now are actually taken from performances that I gave at Catholic Family Land in 2005. And they gave me permission to use those videos any way I wanted to. So, in other words, they're shows. They were the Marty Rotella show, which is called In His Love, I think, or His Love. And there were like 3 or 4 shows that I did, plus I did an entire Christmas concert there at Catholic Family Land, which they still run through Sky Angel Network.
Oh, great.
And this is out of like the Ohio Steubenville area. But at any rate, what Pete did was, my husband, Pete, bought a software program that takes these videos, which are now on DVD, and creates individual DVDs from the entire program. So you're splitting out the song, editing the song in its entirety, but separate from the show.
Right.
And
so you
then,
have these little standalone videos that are
standalone
three to
video,
5 minutes in length.
Yeah.
And
so Catholic.org offered, which is one of the biggest online portals for Catholic media. If you want news or information, it's like a New York Times for Catholics. They have a whole section devoted to videos, and so I submitted them. They were accepted. I submitted, I think, 4 or 5 of them. They're running in rotation. Actually, right now, they're all on the most popular page, which is like, wow, I can't believe it. Who's watching? I have no idea.
Well, I'm watching.
I've
seen them all.
Lisa. You're very kind. And then I found a news site called Gloria.tv. And
Just hearing about that.
It's a European website. And because I see a lot of German oftentimes in the comments. So I know it's run by either German or Austrian priests and some laity working together. And they accepted them immediately. They're also on YouTube. I've got them on YouTube. So they're just making the rounds.
Such a great thing. Well, on the show, we have played Rejoice and Be Glad, which is absolutely one of my favorite songs, not only of yours, but in general. It's very high on my iPod most played list.
Oh, thank you.
I love working out to that song because it just automatically gets me in a great mood. And I know that you've been participating in a new initiative that's out there, Top Catholic Songs. So tell us a little bit more about what that has done for you and the other musicians who are involved in it.
Well, TopCatholicSongs.com, which is a new site, really is a tool for promotion for Catholic artists. It's a way for people another way for them to find us, another way for them to listen to the music, but it also provides the artists with a group of like-minded artists who are interested in how to promote Catholic music. So there are ads that are generated through this, advertising in the Catholic Register and other magazines. Right now it's magazines and newspapers, and eventually it'll also be tied into this huge portal, which I mentioned before, Catholic.org. But Nick Alexander, who's a very fine, funny parody
he's
type
cracking.
Catholic
Yes.
musician, you know him. You know, he's done things like Eternal Life, the Party album, or I Want to Be Debated. He takes a lot of modern songs and he sort of translates them into Catholic ideology, which I think is very funny. He and a gentleman who is, the name is escaping me. I know his name is Alex, but he is a promotion wizard, a media specialist, and they have combined their forces and their expertise to create this listing. It's a series of lists, because what they've decided is, it's a known fact that people like lists.
Right.
They like the top 10 this, the top
Yes.
5 that, the top 2 this. You're the top. They like those top 10 things. They don't want to have to search through 20 to 30 to 40 different songs. They want you to tell them what the best ones are out there. So this whole group of people votes on songs. You submit a song, they say, give it 4 votes. Okay, 15 people voted for it. And how many votes it receives, it's very democratic, it rises to the top, and then it's named as one of the top 10, and then those top 10 songs, let's say they're for Advent, goes to the National Catholic Register in the form of an ad.
So it's bringing a very thematic attention to artists that people may not have otherwise heard about. I've seen the list, and they're fabulous. I always love checking out, and I love how relevant they are to whatever's happening on our liturgical calendar as well. So,
and that's what they're trying to do. I mean, Nick is always racking his brain to come up with a new listing, thematic listing. They've had best Advent songs, they've had best Christmas songs, Lenten, Holy Week, Easter, Marian, Pentecost, Holy Spirit songs. Teen, we have had a hard time with teen songs, because as you know, teens, it's difficult to get them to listen to this kind of music. So it's got to be very relevant to their lifestyle, to what they're interested in listening to.
Well, I'm so excited by everything that's happening in Catholic music and by all the great work that you're out there doing, and I'm very excited to hear the new CD that you're going to be starting production on in May. So
thank you.
I'm hoping that maybe we can have you back in the fall after your pilgrimage to talk a little bit more about that experience, and maybe by then the CD will be either out or closer to being out, and we can.
It will be, I'm sure, because
again,
I'm working with somebody that I'm very excited about this, David Smith. I'm sure you've
Oh my
heard of him.
gosh, he's so great. Actually, his wife Teresa sings the theme song that I use, "Blooming."
Is that so?
Yeah.
Oh, I never put them together.
Yes.
But am I not the stupidest person on this earth? I didn't put Teresa and David together.
I believe they're together. I may be speaking out of turn, but I'm pretty sure.
You heard it here, folks.
I'm pretty sure that David produced Teresa's. I don't know. I guess I assumed that
that would
they have
make
the
sense.
same last name, but we'll see. We'll
David,
double check our facts on that one.
Okay, yeah, we
But
better.
anyway, that tells me that it's right off the bat. I've spoken with other artists who David has produced, and I know he does a great job. So
that's I'm very, very picky who I work with. I mean, I've had great luck with the folks, the team that I've had all these years. David gave me some very good insight as to how to make my music a little more, even more now, sort of modern, more modern. Bring it into the 21st century, what people are listening to now. And when you start opening up your world to include different ears, like someone who is as knowledgeable as him, you can expect that the music's going to take a slightly different turn. I just have to make sure, and my husband tells me this all the time, make sure that the music is still meditational.
Right.
And it's still, that the words are the most important thing. He said, because Nancy, that's what you do.
That's your thing, yes.
You're the wordsmith. You're the one who likes to bring out these concepts. And if it's really muddied over by a lot of musical production, he said, I think something will get lost.
Right. You don't want to lose your authentic voice in the process.
Well, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, and I think that David and I understand that. And so I'm very excited about working with him.
What a great thing. Well, Nancy, I want to thank you for the time that you've spent with us today, and just let you know that we'll be closely following your trip and all the great work that you're doing and listening again to your music. And I want to invite our listeners to check Nancy out at www.nancykrebs.com. Are there any closing thoughts that you'd like to share with our listening audience before we let you get back to your music?
Oh, I was afraid you were going to ask me that. Because I think, I really don't have any pearls of wisdom other than just for you to keep doing what you're doing, because you are helping everyone so much
Oh, sweet.
by sharing, this kind of interviewing situation with other artists. It gives us all an opportunity to let people know who we are, and at the same time, I get to know you a little bit better, because frankly, I'd never heard your voice before. So it was really fun to be able to talk with you and to get to know you a little bit better.
Well, Nancy, hopefully someday we'll get to meet in person, too. I actually am thinking about coming to the Unity Awards next year. I don't know if that fits onto your schedule, but...
well, I think it's going to have it at the time that
that you're gone. Oh, that's right. Darn.
I do believe that.
That'll be a better place for you to be anyway. So,
thank you. This year.
Thank you again for your time and for all the great work that you're doing, and just keep it up, and we'll keep listening.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for your support.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
An exasperated mother whose boy was always getting into mischief finally asked her son, "How do you expect to get into heaven?" The boy thought it over and said, "Well, I'll just run in and out and keep slamming the door until St. Peter says, 'For heaven's sakes, Jimmy, come in or stay out.'" Does that strike a chord with any moms or dads listening to Catholic Moments? I want to share with you a Catholic moment that happened to me just months ago. My wife Dee and I were getting ready to move to Arizona, and on my final weekend as the parish deacon in the Colorado mountain town where we had lived for 9 years, the parish threw a cake and punch farewell celebration after all the masses. We were saying our goodbyes to the parish folks, and so many came through the line, even people who were visitors at the parish from time to time. It was very loving and very touching. Many came and thanked me for prayers that I had offered up on their behalf. Many folks asked me to pray for them even though I was leaving, and I've tried to be faithful to those requests. But the moment that sticks with me, even chokes me up as I want to tell you about it, is this. I was hugging goodbye to someone, and behind that person I saw a young mother with 2 children. When I reached my hand to shake hers, she had tears in her eyes. She said, "Deacon Tom, you don't know me, but you're the reason that I'm still a Catholic." I said something like, "Wow, how wonderful, I don't understand." She said, "About 2 years ago I came to this church. I had my 2 young children with me, and at the door you shook my hand and said how awesome it was that I brought them to church. You said that I was welcome, and this had been a problem in other churches that I went to. People looked at me and the kids like they wished we weren't there, but you made me feel welcome. I've never forgotten that." She gave me a hug and said goodbye. Her touching testimonial about loving, welcome, and caring for parents of young kids, even when they stretch our patience. This created a Catholic moment that will stay with me for lots of years. If you see a young parent having trouble with kids at a Mass, would you consider making it a point to go tell them you understand, that it's far better that they are going to Mass than the alternative? Would you take a Catholic moment to make a mom or dad know that it's okay? Thanks be to God. Blessings. This is Deacon Tom.
Thank you so much, Deacon Tom, for another wonderful Catholic Deacon moment. Deacon Tom's moment seems very timely to me this week, in that we've had a lot of discussion this week about the story of a family whose life has been touched with an autistic son and their experience at a Catholic parish. And I just want to remind all of us, including myself, that Deacon Tom's words of advice that we look around ourselves at Mass and see people who may need a special welcome is very timely and very important. And I want to thank you, Deacon Tom, for sharing not only that thought, but for all the inspiration that you provide us. And you can, of course, visit Deacon Tom at his website at www.deacontomonline.com. And I want to thank again today's guest, Nancy Krebs, and encourage you to head over to her website and to check out her music. We're going to close out today's podcast with one of her songs, Humility. But before we do so, I'd like to just invite your feedback once again. You can either call our feedback line at 206-339-9797 9272. You can email me at lisa@catholicmom.com or leave us a message on our blog at www.catholicmoments.com. And of course, I'd love your review on iTunes. If you have time to do that, please head over there and leave me a review. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful week and that God blesses your families very richly. And we leave today with Nancy Krebs, Humility.
Let me in humility bring my love to you. God on high, oh let me be true to you, to you. Let me have a humble heart that only rests in you. God on high, oh let me be close to you. Though my pride rears its head and demands I rise to place myself above the rest, why do I want that prize? Though my mind exhausts itself in matters too sublime, you matter more than all knowledge, space, and time. So let me in humility bring my love to you. God on high, oh let me be true to you, to you. Let me have a humble heart that only rests in you. God on high, oh let me be close to you. Though my joy so often seems to be in earthly gain, a nagging doubt tugs at me. Is this not all in vain? I long to sink into your arms and forget the rest. Let me be like a child upon your loving breast. Let me in humility bring my love to you. God on high, oh let me be true to you, to you. Let me have a humble heart that only rests in you. God on high, oh let me be close to you, 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 close to you,
SQPN, leading the way in Catholic new media.